Regardless of age, this movie is made for everybody. And trust me, I should know. I was the youngest in the theater. And of course, that movie is 80 for Brady.
Hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children.
If you're not familiar with 80 for Brady, it actually is inspired by true events. Now, these true events do take place in 2017, and of course, it does star Sally Field, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Lily Tomlin. Now, Lily Tomlin is the voice actress who played Aunt May in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Sally Field is the actress who played, of course, Aunt May in Amazing Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man 2, starring Andrew Garfield. Now, as far as inspired by true events, I don't know what is actually true to the story versus what was Hollywood made to kind of go along with the actual story to make it more interesting. What I will say though is overall it's a very fun flick and good for everybody, no matter the type of audience. Now, it does start off with the telling of the story about four women and how they connect with the game of football. It all started off when one of them, of course, has a diagnosis of dying from cancer. They go over to kind of rejuvenate her, to get her in good spirits, and then end up watching a football game where eventually they created their own ritual before the game or after or even during, whether if it's a specific whistle of a blow of a referee to a specific time frame of a game, to even knocking over popcorn or chips in the very beginning of a kickoff. They want to make sure that everything is exactly to the T because they don't want to jinx anything. Now, we do find out that many of the women in the film and the characters do have other things going on with their lives that is very, want to make sure that this memory that they go to the Super Bowl is very memorable, whether if it's a loss of a husband, whether if it's feeling lonely or, cancer related, they want to take a trip to make sure that this is once in a lifetime trip that they'll always remember for their whole entire life. And that's exactly what happens. Now, don't get me wrong. These ladies do get in some shenanigans, and throughout the film, the shenanigans actually did make me laugh wholeheartedly. It was a very much feel-good story. And that's what is supposed to be, and that's what is missing from some of these movies is a feel-good story. They're out there, but this one kind of stands out from all the rest in certain circumstances. Now, if you're not a Tom Brady fan, that's fine. If you're not a Patriots fan, that's fine. It takes place in 2017, like I said, and it goes ahead and it has a Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, a lot of the game footage is actually game footage from that game that they took and they put it into the movie. But regardless, though, some of the elements when they're at the game, obviously they had to recreate. So with that, that actually brought a lot of celebrity guests to it too, a little cameos. Like, for example, Guy Fieri is in the movie as well. And of course, a couple of other celebrities too, which, caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting. So it's good to see a lot of those actors or actresses in a smaller role and be like, hey, I know that guy. Hey, I know that gal. And of course, one of them is Aaron Taylor Johnson. Shockingly, is in the flick too. So there you go. But overall, it was really fun. I didn't really feel one moment of the flick where it was like, this is kind of lagging. As far as the story goes, the women themselves, the actresses, and the story, it was so engaging that actually kept you along for the ride and see where it ended up going. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, everybody knows what happens in that Super Bowl. But what leads up to it? What kind of shenanigans they get in? Whether if it's, of course, a multi-million-dollar party to doing drugs to doing many things throughout it, it's an overall fun movie and good for not only the family, but good to sit down, especially if you're a Patriots fan. This is one for you, regardless of your age, because it's a good, heartfelt film for all Patriots fans. But regardless, though, did you guys see it? Is there anything that you like? Is there anything that you didn't like? Leave your comment below. Make sure you subscribe, as well as check out the merchandise link down below. And be sure to check us out next time for our next review.